This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Thursday, January 11th, 2024. I'm Alex Brown. A Fisher startup that has developed a device to safely ship vaccines, food, or other perishable items and keep them cold for nearly a month without the need of batteries or electricity aims to bring the product to market this year. The Arctic RX Pod is a durable plastic shipping container a bit larger than a dishwasher. Co-founder Stuart Lowry.
So the way it works is whatever the cooling agent, so let's stay with dry ice. When you put the dry ice in, it comes down to temperature very rapidly. And once it comes down to the temperature of that dry ice, which is minus 78 degrees Celsius, it stays there. So it'll stay there for weeks, and it's stable.
The proprietary technology was developed in conjunction with thermal engineers from Rolls-Royce in Indianapolis.
Our pod actually performs no matter where it is. So if it's outside in a very cold temperature or it's on a tarmac in the sun in a very hot temperature, that doesn't change the internal temperature. It's very negligible. That's where your temperature excursion or where your challenges occurs. If it's stuck in customs or stuck on a hot tarmac, we will not have those issues.
Lowry says the pod can be used for multiple trips, and the first are set to be shipped this quarter. The Clarksville Redevelopment Commission has given the go-ahead for Louisville-based Denton Floyd Real Estate Group to move forward with its second mixed-use development in the South Clarksville area. The project, known as The George, will include 192 luxury apartments and more than 10,000 square feet of retail space. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett is addressing the loss of a major player in his administration who dealt with economic and development issues. Scarlett Andrews, the former deputy mayor of economic development, left her role in December to join Carmel-based real estate developer T&H Investments. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Don't miss your chance to nominate a worthy business or community leader for IBJ's 40 Under 40 Awards. It's one of our most prestigious awards events, celebrating the accomplishments of leaders under the age of 40. We're on the lookout for people who have achieved a level of success that is rare at a young age. Who will be named to this year's class? We need your input. Learn more and submit your nomination by January 12th at ibj.com/nomination.
Last November, Democrat Gina Lichty became the first woman elected mayor of the city of Goshen, and the move into public office was one that came rather quickly for her. In March, Lichty was named interim mayor after former Mayor Jeremy Stutzman stepped down. She had previously worked at iDart Creative Studio, a communication and advertising agency she co-owned with her husband Ben, which she said made the transition easier for her.
One of the things that really made it seem feasible for me to step in first as the interim mayor to fill the previous mayor's position, and then part of what contributed to my decision to actually run for the fall election was having those long-standing relationships, both with people inside the city. So I had worked alongside almost all of the department heads through the many projects over the years, and then through my the work in the community with community development and with many of the small businesses. I had deep relationships with both the not-for-profit community and the business community in this area. And so, they say that progress moves at the speed of trust. And I had a lot of relationships with people that made it possible for me to step in and provide continuity, and then also look ahead at the future too, knowing that we have strong ties and strong relationships throughout the community.
Lichty said among her goals in her first term is addressing the housing issue in Goshen. Proposed legislation could exempt the school city of Hammond from selling the Gavitt Middle High School building under the state's $1 law. Our partners at the Times of Northwest Indiana report Republican State Senator Dan Durnulk of Highland has filed Senate Bill 101, which would spare the school district from the state law if it decides to sell the building, which closed in 2021. The law allows charter schools to buy or lease a vacant public school building for $1. The lawmaker filed the legislation with the intent to repurpose the property, potentially as an emergency room facility. In his State of the State address Tuesday night, Governor Eric Holcomb announced a major boost to the state's Regional Economic Acceleration and Development Initiative, or READY.
The governor said Indianapolis-based Lilly Endowment is awarding $250 million, the largest single gift in the endowment's history, to support READY 2.0, with the funding earmarked for specific types of projects. The Indiana Economic Development Corporation says it will allocate $185 million of the grant to support the redevelopment or rehabilitation of blighted properties in ways that address community needs. Such projects include rehabbing historic structures, repurposing closed industrial plants to create community spaces or mixed-use developments, and demolishing vacant single-family homes to build new affordable housing. The IEDC also plans to invest $65 million of the grant to help regions develop arts and culture projects, such as establishing arts and culture competitions or festivals, creating new public art displays, and developing or improving museums, performing arts venues, or other culturally significant attractions. The READY program was launched in 2021 with $500 million in grants awarded to 17 regions representing every county in the state. The IEDC said the program leveraged a combined $12.6 billion in investment from public, private, and not-for-profit sources, supporting more than 360 projects and programs. Last year, the Indiana General Assembly approved an additional $500 million allocation for READY 2.0, and regional proposals are due by February 23rd. Kate Sharon, Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.
New Terre Haute Mayor Brandon Sackman is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.